Hey guys, and welcome back to another chapter of Drenched. Story and art was by me, Stacey Holt. As for my voice actors, Diz will be voicing Adrien, Cat Noir, and Felix. TitaniumKitten will be voicing Plagg and Luka. Zora will be voicing Lila, and I'll be voicing Marinette, Ladybug, and the narrator. Now, Chapter 11. What? Why not? Marinette pouted.
What are you going to do? Go down there and tell her that you're dating? Yeah, she knows. She doesn't care.
Felix sighed. Marinette bit her lip and watched Adrien smile at Lila uncomfortably, trying to create distance from Lila. Marinette sighed, leaning back on the desk in front of her.
He doesn't like Lila. She's just doing that to get under your skin.
Felix yawned. Why are you saying all of these things? Why are you trying to make me feel better? Marinette said, looking at him.
Well, you tried to help me, so I kinda owe you. Don't look at me like that. It's not like that. I just don't like owing people anything.
Felix said, turning away from her, blushing. Uh-huh. What about the girl you said you liked? Marinette smiled, leaning towards him.
Huh? I didn't say I liked anyone. I don't like anyone. I hate everyone.
Felix lied, knowing fully well he told her that he liked her. You know, you look like Adrien when you lie. Marinette laughed, catching Felix off guard.
Oh? You think I look like Adrien?
Felix turned back to her, smirking, leaning toward her. Huh? Marinette blushed and pushed him away. Ugh, do your work before we get in trouble. They both smiled at one another and worked on their assignment in front of them, knowingly teasing each other. This was good. She thought Felix was a person who had ulterior motives, but he was actually really sweet, who just wanted people to joke around with. He seemed to get along with Marinette rather quickly, and maybe the crush she thought he had on her was actually a mistake and she took it the wrong way. Either way, she was glad that he was friendly to her. Him being their friend meant that he would keep their secret, and that also meant that there would be less drama to deal with.
Lila? Why are you clinging on to me and leaning on me? You know we share documents, so you can sit on your side of the desk.
Adrien said.
But it's easier if I show you.
She smiled innocently.
Lila, are you doing this because Marinette and I are dating?
He asked, seeing her eyes widen.
No! You and her? Seriously? I would never. I simply just want help, Adrien.
Lila said.
Then, why are you glancing back at my girlfriend when leaning toward me? Yeah, I noticed.
Adrien said, crossing his arms.
Fine. I know you're dating, but I think you would be a lot happier with me as your girlfriend, you know? You and I could go places.
Lila smiled.
Lila, Marinette and I are happy. Sorry, but no.
Adrien sighed. Before Lila could argue or say anything else, the teacher released the class and Lila stood up, taking her things and leaving. Adrien frowned and turned to Felix and Marinette, surprised to see them smiling and laughing together. The last time he glanced over, they were arguing.
Huh? What happened between you two? When I first saw you, you two looked like you were fighting.
Adrien asked, putting his bag around his head to rest on his shoulder. Marinette looked over to Felix and saw him smiling at her. We were fighting at first, kinda. Then he, helped me see things in a new light with you and Lila, she said.
In a new light?
Adrien asked, confused.
That was a rather confusing explanation. I helped her understand that you wouldn't let Lila flirt with you, and she shouldn't let Lila push your buttons.
Felix said. Adrien smiled and nodded to Felix's statement, seeing Marinette blush from embarrassment.
I was going to see if Felix wanted to join us today, if that was all right.
Adrien said, smiling. Yeah, that sounds fine with me. At my house? Marinette said, turning to Felix.
Sure. Is that the bakery?
Felix asked. Yeah, My house is above the bakery. Marinette smiled. All three gathered their things and started walking out of the school, smiling and laughing. Adrien went silent and took everything in. He finally had a relationship with his family that wasn't all that terrible. He also had his lady, Marinette, to help him through the toughest time of his life. He was so grateful. Though his mother was still in a coma and his father was in jail, he had his aunt, his cousin, and his girlfriend who cared for him deeply. Huh? Marinette said, feeling her phone vibrate, and pulled it out.
What's wrong?
Adrien asked, brushing off his current thoughts. And Akuma? Again? Marinette said, seeing that someone was akumatized and causing chaos around Paris once again.
Akumatized? Isn't Gabriel in jail?
Felix asked.
Doesn't this mean he's innocent?
Adrien smiled. Not entirely. Remember, he had an accomplice. If he is Hawkmoth, he could have given the butterfly miraculous to Mayura, which is why they couldn't find it, Marinette said, watching the news.
We better go fix this,
Adrien said, looking at Marinette with a determined face. Yeah, come on, Marinette said, putting her phone away.
Hey, I can help you two, you know,
Felix said, seeing them turn their heads. Adrien and Marinette both turned and exchanged glances at one another.
I don't give out the miraculous,
Adrien explained, turning to Marinette. I only give out the extra miraculous in emergencies. When Cat Noir and I really need backup. We will meet you at the bakery. You can pick anything you want to eat and we'll meet you upstairs. I'll explain more when we get back. I'm sorry, Felix. Marinette sighed and left with Adrien, leaving Felix in the classroom. He turned to the window and saw both Ladybug and Cat Noir fly by toward the Akuma, and he started making his way toward the bakery. He entered the bakery and saw a short smiling woman and a tall smiling man turn to look at him as the bell let them know he had come inside.
Hello, how can we help you?
Tom smiled.
Are you one of Marinette's friends?
Sabine asked, seeing that he was around her age and had a bag with him.
Yeah, she said to grab a snack and head up to her room until she could come. She's running late,
Felix said, not bothering to be cheerful about meeting her parents.
Well, take whatever you like.
Sabine smiled.
Marinette just made some of these pastries this morning, if you would like to try these.
Tom pointed out.
Marinette made these?
Felix asked.
She sure did. She is such a great baker, as long as she stays focused.
Tom laughed. Felix smiled and took one. Before he went upstairs, they told him which room was hers and how to get there, and he proceeded to follow their instructions, as he had never been inside her room before. He opened her door and stuck his head inside and looked around. He was met with a wooden floor and pink walls, typical for a girl's bedroom. He would assume from how Marinette acted and her bubbly personality that her bedroom would be pink and cute.
Cute?
Felix said, catching himself. Did he just think of Marinette's room as cute? No way. There was no way he thought Marinette was cute. He just thought cute as in adorable, like little kids, as in immature. Yeah. Marinette was still in the cute, immature, childlike stage. He climbed up the stairs to her bed and looked at her bed. He saw the huge cat pillow and made an eerie face, almost a little creeped out by it. He saw a skylight above her bed and opened it. He stuck his head out and looked around, seeing that she had her own balcony on the top.
So, this must be how she comes and goes as Ladybug.
Felix said to himself.
Also must be how Cat Noir, Adrien, comes to visit her. Ugh, loser.
Felix groaned, leaning on the railing as he observed the view. Felix sighed and saw hundreds or maybe thousands of ladybugs in the distance repair everything, and then saw the two superheroes make their way over to him, although they didn't land up there with him, which in his opinion was smart on their part. They landed near an alley and walked into the bakery. It seems like they have done this kind of stuff for a long time. It must be hard keeping up with two different lives and all of the lies after all. One slip up, and everything could come crumbling down. If Marinette would have de-transformed in her bedroom just now, and her parents come upstairs, They would surely know she wouldn't have come in through the bakery, unless she had another way into her house that he hadn't known about. "Hey, Felix," Marinette said, popping her head up on the balcony.
Hey, Mari.
He said, turning around. "What are you doing up here?" she asked.
I guess you could say pink was rather eye-straining.
He said plainly. It didn't have to do with being inside a girl's room alone? She teased, seeing him about to argue, but she started to laugh.
Ha ha, very funny.
He rolled his eyes.
Where is Adrien?
Felix asked, seeing that her little lost kitten wasn't attached to her hip as usual. "He is getting us snacks from downstairs." She smiled. "Come down with me." Felix followed Marinette down to her bedroom and found Adrien sitting a plate full of pastries on a side table.
Want one?
Adrien asked.
No. I took one earlier that I haven't eaten yet.
Felix said, holding up his own pastry. Marinette turned to look and blushed. Oh, I made that this morning." She smiled.
I know. Your father told me. That's why I took it.
He said. "You did?" Marinette asked.
Yes.
Felix said, looking over at Adrien, smirking.
Did you want to talk to him now, Marinette?
Adrien said, taking his own pastry and sitting next to her. "Oh, yeah. I was going to talk to you about Miraculous." She smiled.